Mary Jo, I see you.
We are still easily amused by technology.
Oh, I know we are. Mindy, we know you're there. We think you're there. Your name is there. And Sue? Carmen's here? Who's down here in the corner?
That's Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everybody. I made the mistake of talking to the screen. So when I turn and talk to the screen, you're seeing that angle. I'll try not to do that.
Well, welcome everyone. I hope you've had a chance to look at your icebreakers and just find out a little bit about your travel companions. And the reason why I asked you to write your name and then have them write their names is because when we write things down, it's easier to remember. So
If you see the people on the screen in here. So we've been doing icebreakers. The first question is, do you prefer a window seat or an aisle seat? And I know my southern accent is showing up. I prefer the window seat because I like to just close my eyes and have my sunglasses on and close the window and take a nap. Ladies put me to sleep. Okay, what is your favorite airline snack?
they don't serve much.
They don't serve much. Well, I have to admit, sometimes I'm in the mood for pretzels and sometimes I like the wafers. Because those are handies. But now, you know, they have it where you can buy your chips or whatever that you want as they come through. And then, so making a note of that on you probably want to take some snacks that you like with you in your bag so that you have those handy. And because you're like you said, they don't feed us as much anymore as they used to. Okay, do you like to be at the back, front, or middle of a group while touring a new place? I have to admit, I like to be at the back because I just kind of like lag behind and see what's going on. But everybody has, you know, their own preferences. So Julie's going to be in the middle. And then we'll have our tour guide at the front. And then, are you a morning or an evening person? So I start to lose energy about 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, and I have to have coffee or something to get me going. But I'm a morning person. My dogs have trained me well. I had some that would get me up at 5:30 in the morning. And
why are they looking at the flag?
I haven't yet.
What?
Okay, and then
What'd you say?
Is your favorite morning beverage coffee?
What?
tea?
What'd you say?
What's your favorite beverage? To get you going in the morning.
Diet Coke, anybody? Diet Coke?
So sometimes it takes things to get us going. But we're glad that you're all here, and we're gonna take a moment to let Matt Pfister let you know about some opportunities that we have here at WET, and I will leave it to him to tell you the details.
Thank you, Sue. So my name is Matt Pfister. As she said, I actually run our foundation here at Western Iowa Tech. And so if you're not figured out why I'm here, by now, we have a unique opportunity though. Sue and I have been working with the Sioux City Symphony to try and work with them on doing some more things for not only lifelong learning, but for our students here on campus. They've come up with some great ideas. However, those ideas have a price tag with them as well. So what we would like to do is we would like to become a sponsor of the Sioux City Symphony. Now, the price tag on that is $5,000, okay, which is a large amount, but if we all come together, not only our lifelong learners, but also some of our alumni, things like that, we feel like we can raise that money in order to do this. The benefit to you guys is if you go to the Sioux City Symphony website, there's actually a tab on there that says lifelong learners, WITCC lifelong learners. Okay. They used to, Sue has told me, come out and do some sessions here at WIT, specifically for lifelong learners. They do not do that. We kind of got the impression.
I know, but wait, there we go. Can I move that over?
Okay, so we got the impression that, they do need some donations, and so they would like us to partner with them by doing this. One of the other things that they're gonna do that's unique to this next year, and if you haven't seen their schedule for next year, I would encourage you to go take a look at it. It is amazing. Tina Turner is one of their, shows that they're gonna be doing, which is gonna be amazing. The other thing is they're gonna be doing here, the celebration of women in the arts. This is gonna be an 8-week fair that they're gonna have over 8 weeks. One of the things we like to do is actually have them out here and to do a session out here on, one of the events, right? We would also highlight some of our students. We would love to highlight some of our lifelong learners, as we do one of these events. The other thing that they will do is Ryan, who is the maestro down there, will also do some question and answers before and after the show, specifically for WIT lifelong learners as well, so WIT students. So what we're looking for is if you guys can donate anything that you can to our cause here at Western Iowa Tech, for this to help us, partner with Sioux City Symphony. We really think it's something that will not only benefit you, but it's going to be a huge benefit to our students. Most of our students have not been to any type of symphony or orchestra or anything like that here, but they don't have time to experience that or haven't experienced that in their life. So this will be a huge enrichment for them. I have my card right over there. That's all the pressure I'm going to give you. Take a card, go ahead and contact me through email, on my phone. You can come to the college, do whatever you would like, and I will be glad to help you figure out how to donate some of the money to Western Iowa Tech. It is tax deductible as well, because our 501(c). The other thing I do want to say too is thank you guys for doing this. Thank you for coming to Western Iowa Tech. Thank you for Dr. Albert for doing this. We need you to come to this campus. We want you on our campus. If you did not know, we now have athletics. We have volleyball, we have basketball, and we have 2 soccer teams. Please come up and see them. As you drive around tonight and you leave, there's a big dirt pile right over here. We're building a new soccer field. We're in the process of hopefully getting that name. And there's more to come on that, but please come up and use these facilities, come up and use our campus, come up and see our students. We really want to see ourselves. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. Have fun in New York, which my mother's also going on this trip, so you'll get to meet her. So, she just got back from Cabo, so. So you can give her grief about that.
We will give her grief next week, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, we will. Thanks very much, Matt. And thanks, Sue. Sue, is it up to me now? It's mine? Okay, good. So, thank you all for coming out. It's so great to see you all. I've met almost all of you before. And really excited about getting to know more of you and knowing those of you who do know a little bit better on the next, in the next few weeks, and especially in the trip. My name is Julie Albert. I had the pleasure of working at Western Iowa Tech for the last 25 years. 14 of those years, I was the vice president of the college. Before that, I was dean of students and some other things before that. And before I came to the Western Iowa Tech, I was a college English teacher. So I've had a great career, retired January 2nd. One of the things I did, yeah, thanks. Come on, it's round of applause. One of the things that I was able to do for the last, I think, 18 years of my career was take students on short-term study abroad tours across the world. And we've gone to a lot of different countries. Through the years, those tours have gotten more and more popular with lifelong learners who say, hey, I want to go along too. So it's been great to have a wide range of ages on the tour. Because of that, Sue, I asked Sue, would you like my help on one of these? Since she's kind of new to this position, and she said, sure, that would be great. So you kind of stuck with me for a little while. I've traveled with students for a long time. We're all students. We all continue to learn. So I'm pleased to be with you. We have a little gift for you. Those of you who are online will make sure you get this gift. But we have a little New York bag from Sue and myself. In it is just a couple of little things, but one of the things I want to point out is a luggage tag from Explorica. That's the company that we're traveling with. please put that on your bag. It'll be easier to cite your bags. We're at a hotel and there's like 12 tour groups. We know that everybody who's got that Explorer bag is part of this tour. The Explorer tag, rather. So we're gonna meet tonight and go over a few things, and then next week as well, and go over a few more things. And I am gonna ask next week, I'm gonna ask tonight, for some of you to volunteer to do a little short presentation next week. Only if you're comfortable doing it. Any former teachers in this room? All right, I know you're gonna wanna get up here with this microphone. Are you the only one brave enough to answer the? One of the things that I do when I travel with students is have them come up and present, and I'm telling you, it's part of the best part of the tour, because we get somewhere and we see, hey, remember when so-and-so gave that presentation and talked about this particular thing? And it all kind of comes back to you, all the learning we did in the classroom, as well as the learning that we're doing on site. So I know my old faithfuls who've been on tours with me before, Mike, I know Mike will do a presentation. Laura's looking down, but I know she's gonna want to do a presentation. And anyone else who would like to, Sue, I know you're going to do some presentation. So tonight I want to hit on the things that I think you're going to be asking about the most. And I'm going to start with this PowerPoint. Mike's going to pull it up for us.
Yes, I'll take a minute.
Those of you who are online, you should be able to see the class and the PowerPoint
In just a minute, yes.
in just a minute. Please feel free to shout out any question, those of you who are online, or you can write it in the chat box and we'll see it.
Okay, the setting on your computer is going to take a minute to fix this.
Okay. So we've got a minute. How many of you been to New York before? Just a few of you, okay? What's the thing you think of the most when you think of New York City? Ellis Island? Good news, you get to go there. Skyscrapers, yeah. For very first night, we're there with, I think we're gonna go to the top of one day to see the panoramic view. Traffic's gonna be terrible. Good news is mostly we're gonna take the subway. Somebody said Statue of Liberty. Central Park will be there. The 9/11 memorial, 9/11 memorial, yeah. And we will be going there as well. Empire State Building, yeah, we'll see that. It is a packed tour. So while Mike is getting this pulled up. Oh. While Mike's getting this pulled up, I'm gonna say, if at any point you think, I just have to go back to the hotel and take a rest, just let us know. You're gonna know where we're gonna be next, because you're gonna have the itinerary, so you can join us when you're feeling rested.
Okay, so the MacBook password, just type there.
Is the clicker here?
I'm getting just a second. Okay.
But we do really insist that you let us know if you're leaving the group. While, since it's taking a little bit, I'm gonna talk about some of the other things I brought along here. Brought a lot of my junk. I brought this suitcase because for this size length of trip, you should be able to get everything you want in this carry-on. You get to bring a carry-on for free and another bag, such as a purse, such as your New York bag, a small backpack. I like to bring a fanny pack that goes around my waist. If you pack right, you should be able to bring this. What? Yeah.
How big is that?
This,
How big is it?
we can measure it? I don't know, but I used it to carry on for years.
No, I think that is.
Yeah, it fits, because I've used it as a carry-on for years. It is the maximum size carry-on. I have another one that's a little bit smaller, but.
Julie, what about souvenirs?
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it depends on how many souvenirs you wanna bring back. If you're gonna pack your bag full, then you'll need a bigger bag. One trick though is to bring an empty bag, one of those that folds all up. And then you can carry that on the plane and it can be full, and this you can check. That way you're not checking both ways, because if you check your bag, it's $60. So if you don't have to check it both ways, you're saving $60 each way. Again, it's free to take it on the plane, costs $60 to check it. If you check your luggage, of course, you are, if you check your luggage, you're fine with carry-on with, liquids. But if you don't check your luggage, you have to minimize the liquid you bring. I'm gonna show you how to do that in a minute, but it looks like we're up here, so we'll get running. Those of you who are online, can you see the PowerPoint? Yes? So you'll have the PowerPoint presentation. And I gave you a copy because I thought you might like to make some notes and bring this with you, because it has addresses of some of the places that we're gonna need to be. So if you decide, I'll meet you with supper, for supper, I'm going somewhere else, I'm going shopping, I'm not interested in this museum, or I'm tired, I wanna go lay down, but I'll meet you for supper. The addresses of all the restaurants are there, for example. So hang on to this, bring it with you. This is Sue, you know Sue, because she's the head of lifelong learning. Here's her phone number, and here is her email address. Here is Julie, me. Here's my phone number. And here's my email. It's all lower level letters, but I couldn't get this PowerPoint presentation to do that, sorry. Travel with Dr. Julie, no E, @gmail.com. Call or text anytime or email. Keep this with you, so you have our phone numbers. So put them in your phone. We get separated, you need to call us. Okay, I want to give you some flight information. This is not a misprint. We are meeting in this parking lot at 3 a.m. here on campus, parking lot 4 on Wicks campus at 3 a.m. We will make arrangements. If you need to leave your vehicle here, we'll let security know that your vehicles are going to be here. If you want your loved ones to drop you off here, that's fine too. But we will tell security that some cars will probably be here. We want to be here at 3 o'clock so that we get the bus loaded and we're on the road by 3:30. Any morning people who plan to sing the whole way there? No? Good. Take a rest. As Sue said, do bring some snacks. You might not need them then, but you're gonna need them later, for sure. We're gonna get to the airport by maybe 5:15-ish. It's gonna give us plenty of time to get through security. If you bring your carry-on and you print out your boarding pass in advance, then you don't have to stand in the line. You just go through security. If you have a checked luggage, then obviously you go through security. If you need to bring checked luggage, go ahead. I don't want to discourage you from that. But if you don't want to pay $120 for round trip, then do stick with the carry-on luggage. I would highly recommend a hearty breakfast at the airport in Omaha. there will be something open and there will be time. And so get yourself whatever you can get, some coffee and, egg McMuffin type thing, or full breakfast, whatever they have, cinnamon rolls. Get what you can, because you are going to be hungry. We're gonna leave at 7:22. We're gonna arrive in Chicago at 9:01, and we leave Chicago at 10:11. So that's a pretty quick turnaround to move 46 people, right? There are a few people who are flying in from elsewhere and joining us there, but the bulk of us are going together from Omaha, from Sioux City to Omaha. I did ask you, there's a sign-up sheet going around. If you haven't gotten it, let Sue know. Want your name and your number and your email, but yes or no, are you planning to ride the bus? Because some people like to get themselves to the airport in Omaha. If you want to do that, that's perfectly fine, but we don't want to be waiting in the parking lot for you to show up if you're going to Omaha on your own. So please, circle yes or no. Remember, you're saving 5 days worth of, parking fees if you ride with us too. We have a very nice bus. Okay, so we have an hour turnaround time in Chicago. That means we're really not gonna have time for food. So bring snacks that you can eat on the plane that second round. Have a good breakfast, if you can, have a good breakfast in Omaha, and then have some snacks in your pocket. Because when we get there at 1:30, we're not gonna stop probably until supper time for food. Now, at the airport, we're gonna meet our tour director. And I looked and looked at her name. And then I finally thought, oh, it's Ariana. But it's a different spelling, isn't it? Like, what? Yes, a unique spelling. So our tour director, Ariana, is gonna meet us at the airport. We'll all bring the Brookside Relief. We'll go through our luggage, unless we have our luggage with us. We'll meet Ariana. We'll get on the bus to get to our hotel. And from there, we start day one. Now, I'm gonna rush through these things, because these things are things that people can, give presentations on next week. I need somebody who wants to talk about the Midtown Walking Tour. Give me a little bit, 10 minutes. And if you like a PowerPoint presentation, you can do that. Just a few minutes on Rockefeller State Center, St. Pat's Cathedral, Times Square, and Grand Central Station. What would be important? What would people in this group like to know about these places? If someone would pick up this as a presentation, that would be great. And then we're gonna go to dinner at 5 o'clock. I suspect we will go straight from the airport to the hotel, drop our luggage. I doubt if we'll check in right away. Because we'll want to hit the road. Probably check in after we get home that night, but I may be wrong. Then we're gonna go to the Empire State Building and the observation visit at 6 p.m. So that'll be really nice to be up there in the evening. And here's our hotel. We'll be at all 4 nights, the Cambria Hotel and Suites. You've got the address there and the phone number in case you get lost. Don't forget Midtown Walking Tour. We're gonna come back at it for a minute. Now, everybody stand up for me for a minute. There's 46 of us. There's not 46 in this room, but there's 46 of us total. Imagine now that you're walking side by side, 2 of you, and there's 46 of us, and there's a tour guide that way in the beginning, and Julie's somewhere in the middle, and Sue's way in the back. And so there's 46 of us, so there's 23 pairs. And we're walking in New York City with hundreds, if not thousands of people. And stoplights, you can sit down. Just want you to get a visual of how many of us there are. And stoplights and numerous other things. you can see how easy it's going to be to get separated and get lost. Stay together. Stay focused and stay with the group. If you need to stop for any reason, you just need to say, hey, we're the leader, I need to stop. And we'll stop. We might not all stop, part of us might stop, catch up with you, catch up with the group. But if you need us to stop, let us know, don't just stop. Another thing that I really encourage us not to do when we're walking in a large group down the street is stop to take selfies. It's really difficult and really easy to lose people that way. So if there's a place, like, I only got 10 seconds at the Empire State Building and I didn't get time to get my pictures, don't worry, we're in a real small little island. We can get you back there, we can take the pictures. We'll find time when we get there to get those pictures as a group. But if we all stop all the time, we're not gonna get anywhere. Okay, so real quick rundown for day 2, and then I'm gonna ask for people to think about the presentation on this. I'm doing great, I got a half hour. We're gonna have breakfast at the TikTok Diner. Sounds kind of fun. We're gonna go to Radio City Hall for a guided tour. If anybody would like to talk about that. Lunch on our own. Ariana was gonna offer some suggestions for us. Then we'll go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. It's already 2 o'clock by the time we get there. Central Park walking tour. And dinner at the Dallas Barbecue in Times Square at 5 o'clock. The dinners are all going to give you 4 or 5 choices. So you'll have 4 or 5 choices at each place. I did record the things that people said that they had for food, allergies and so on. I did send those into the company, but you will always have choices. So that's nice. And then a Broadway show 6 at the Lena Horne Theater, and then back to the hotel to sleep. The Broadway show 6 at 7. Yeah. You know, originally we were gonna go see Spamalot and they closed. How many years has that been on Broadway? A long time. And their last production, I think, is the 7th of April or something like that. Isn't that something, just when we get there? But I've heard from my friend Christine, who is on the Zoom session here, that 6 is wonderful, so we should enjoy that. So I'm going to talk a little bit next week about the 2 theaters that we're going to, and a little bit about the plays that we'll see, or the musicals, and if anybody would like to talk about Central Park, the things we're going to see there, or if anybody would like to talk about Radio City Music Hall, that would be great too. Keep those places in mind. Yes.
Question. How long will we spend at the Metropolitan Museum of Art?
Well, we are gonna go there at 2 o'clock, and then we have a Central Park walking tour after that. So I don't know for sure. We're gonna be at dinner at 5. I'm gonna guess it will be less than 2 hours. If you want to skip Central Park and stay at the museum, you could sure do that. Join us at the dinner. Questions back here?
Well, there's time to change our clothes. The tour and the dinner and the Broadway show.
I suspect we're gonna eat dinner, run back to the hotel and change. That's the order I think it will happen in. Other questions? Yes?
Do you know what we need those see-through bags for these theaters in New York City?
You need small bags, but they don't have to be the see-through bags. But you need a small bag. You're not gonna be able to take a big backpack on. And I'm gonna talk about bags in a minute. Anyway, when I talk about staying safe.
We get there, we can't check into the hotel, so we have a place to lock up our luggage.
Okay, the question is, if we get there and we can't check into the hotel, do we have a place to lock our luggage? They will lock the luggage in a room. They'll take all the luggage and lock it into a room. If we can't get checked in. Checking this large of a group in, it takes some time, so not quite sure how they'll do that.
So is there a dress code for the theater?
Is there a dress code for the theater? No. There's a little bit of everything. And this is where I would tell my students, and remember, you are representing Western Habitat. Yeah, I don't think I need to tell this girl. Do you think somebody got kicked off of a plane for the clothes that she wasn't wearing here recently? I just read that. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna move on. And now we're on day 3. We're gonna have breakfast at Flavors Cafe. Remember, breakfasts are included as well. Then we're doing the ferry boat to Ellis Island and seeing the Statue of Liberty. Lunch will be on our own. Lower Manhattan guided sightseeing tour is going to have Trinity Church, Wall Street, Chinatown. We're gonna go to the 9/11 Memorial Museum. And we're having dinner at the Brooklyn Deli. We have a free evening. What would you like to do? Have you thought about it?
Probably sleep.
Probably sleep. Okay,
Walk around.
if you wanna sleep, follow her. If you wanna walk around Times Square, follow her. Anybody else thought of anything that you'd like to do on that night?
Go to the theater.
Go to the theater again? Sue, did you have some ideas that you were talking about earlier?
I'm probably gonna go to sleep.
We will also ask our tour director to give us some great ideas. Please, if you're going to do something, just let us know. And try not to go out alone. Yeah. Did you have a question?
Will that be Wednesday night?
That's gonna be Wednesday night, yes. Carmen? Is anyone interested in seeing Carmen, the opera, at the Met? Yes. I've seen it before, but it was in Sioux City. Nothing wrong with that, but yeah, I think that unless I'm too tired, I'd be interested in that. And there were some people here who were interested in seeing a ball game. Okay. The advice I got from the company is that you buy your tickets online. Our tour director will get you pointed in the right direction on the subway. Apparently it's a straight shot. It's really easy to get there. Now, if anybody else is interested in seeing a ball game.
The Mets.
It's the Mets, okay. Anybody else interested in seeing the Mets? Let me ask again next week, because there's gonna be some people there who missed this week. So. All right. And day 4.
You have a question on me?
Yes,
Okay, it just says ferry boat to Ellis Island and Statue of Liberty. Is that all there is to that, just the ferry boat ride around it? Do we actually go to Ellis Island? Do we actually go to the Statue of Liberty?
yes, it's my understanding that we take the boat there and we get off.
And we go?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Okay, day 4, we're gonna have, it's an early day on day 4. 7:15 breakfast. We're going to the United Nations. If someone would like to do a presentation on the United Nations. You guys really don't want to hear me talk the whole time next week. So, just a warning. Museum of Modern Art.
This is the 75th year for the United Nations.
75th year for the United Nations. Cool. Dinner in Times Square. And then the beautiful noise Broadway show.
Is that the new diamond?
That is the Neil Diamond. Yes.
And we're catching it just before they start, going on tours.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Has anybody ever seen the Book of Mormon?
Yes.
If you see it on Broadway, by the way, that's my cousin who has the lead role. He's been doing that for years. Okay, and day 5. When we booked this tour, we did not know what time we were flying in, what time we were flying out. I think Explore has done a fabulous job of getting us every minute that we can. We're leaving in the morning, way before the sun rises, gonna get there by 1:30. That's really good. And we're not gonna get home till almost then. The next day, or those on Fridays. So, on Friday, we've got our last breakfast. We're gonna go to the Natural History Museum and Hayden Planetarium visit. We're gonna have lunch, and then we're headed to the airport. We will get home in Omaha about 12:15. We're gonna pile on the bus again. I suspect it'll be 12:45 a.m.-ish when we get back here on Friday night. So we've made good use of every minute of all 5 days.
Do we have to have our, luggage packed and ready to go when we leave that morning so that they can put them up? Are we coming back and getting our luggage and taking it with us when we get to the airport?
My guess at this point is that we will have it packed and ready to go, before we go to the museum. And that they will hang on to it and then we will check out, they'll hang on to it, lock it up in the hotel. We'll pick it up and go to the airport. So I want to say a word about packing like a minimalist, because doesn't matter what you bring, if you bring a checked luggage or a personal bag, you don't want to carry around any more weight than you have to. One of the things that you probably have heard, Sue, can you help me? Is to roll your clothes to save more room in your bag. So what I do is I roll my clothes and I stuff them in a bag and I push the air out of that bag. This isn't such a big deal on a 5-day trip. But if you're going on a 15-day trip to Europe with us, you're gonna want to remember this. Okay, so I'll just give you a little demonstration. And if you don't like people touching your clothes whenever you're going through the security line, they can see through these bags, so there's no need for any of this to come out of your bag. So I usually roll my stuff as well and put it in plastic bags. And they have gallon size and you want really big.
Yes, you can get bigger bags than this. So I've got this shirt that I'm gonna wear underneath.
She has this shirt that she's gonna wear underneath.
And then a shirt over the top.
And a shirt over the top. This is so everybody is in here. And so she has her whole outfit organized.
I've got 2 shirts and a pair of pants in a small bag. Again, you can get the bigger bags. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is lay it down, push the air out of it.
So you lay it down and you push the air out of it.
Air out until it's flat, like it's
Until it's flat like a pancake.
yeah. And it doesn't take much room, right? Here's an outfit. I'll do the same thing with a bag of undies, the same thing with a bag of socks. I don't bring a lot of shoes.
She doesn't bring a lot of shoes.
No, because they take a lot of space and they weigh a lot. I don't bring a lot of blue jeans because they weigh a lot, take a lot of space.
Your bulky stuff you want to wear to the airport, so that way you don't have to pack it.
Right. Wear your bulky stuff to the airport, that makes sense. Bring an umbrella if you can, like one of the
Collapsible air umbrella or raincoats or one of those, just those little 99-cent things you get at the dollar store. Just tuck it in your bag. Always, always, always dress in layers. Now, this is a good trick that Sue said. dress in layers on the plane so that your heavier stuff, you're not trying to pack into your suitcase. If you got to, you gotta take that coat off the minute you get on the airplane, you're so hot, that's all right, at least you're packing in your bag, because that takes up a lot of extra space, right? Don't bring an iron or a hair dryer. Those things are in the suitcase, are in the hotel room. If you're sharing a room with somebody, you wanna share a curling iron or something like that, great. Do you know the average number, which, changing subjects, the average number of appliances a young girl brings to her dorm room the first year of college? Do you remember this, Laura? 17. 17 things to plug in. And I always thought, well, that is just ridiculous. And I'm trying to get my house ready to put on the market. Going through my bathroom, and I realized I have more curling irons of all different sizes and shapes. And so I can, if they pack them all up and bring them, I guess they bring their electric toothbrush, they bring, their blow dryer, and so if you're bringing things like curling irons, you can share it with somebody, then that's great. Don't bring anything valuable. Don't come with your mother's wedding ring around your neck on a chain. Put those things, leave those things at home. And anything that you do have of value, always use the safe in the room. I like to bring things I can wear more than once because it's April and you're not going to be sweating so bad, right? If you're going to Egypt in July, I would not recommend that you wear things more than once, but you can get by with it in April generally. I often tell students that they can wash things out in the sink and hang them up in a dry. Again, no, you need something to wear there and on the way home in 3 days while you're there. So it's not all that much. Now, if you're bringing your carry-on, and even if you're not, we all know about putting things in the small bottles, right? You can bring 3 ounces, three ounce containers in your Ziploc bag. They'll have conditioner and shampoo in your room. So this, for example, is hairspray. I might want to take some hairspray. But here's something I discovered not too long ago. So I've always brought these little bags. You seen these little bags? Get them at the drugstore. I've always brought these little bags to put my medication in. Because you can tie up a lot of space, a bottle of aspirin, a bottle of Dramamine, a bottle of your medications and so on. Yes.
Could you keep all your vitamins in like in a pill thing? Can you take that on the plane, or are they gonna make you not?
You can take that on the plane, and you should take it on with you, not in your check luggage in case that got lost, which is another
You
reason.
don't have to have it bottles. It's not prescription, it's just like vitamins.
Yeah, you could just, or you can put them in these if you want to. But this is what I discovered recently. So I like Vicks. Vicks vapor rub. I like to put it on my neck and around my nose, and I think it keeps me healthy when I'm around people, which is just a dumb. And there's no scientific evidence, but I've convinced myself that this works. I love my arthritis cream, especially when I'm traveling. But if I have 6 or 8 of things this size, that's just way too much. So now what I do is bring out my trusty little bags again. I scoop a little bit of Vicks in one. That's more than I'm gonna need for 5 days. Scoop a little bit of arthritis cream in one. That's gonna be plenty for 5 days. Anything that's really runny, I'm not gonna trust, but these are fine, and these work great, and they take up so little space in your suitcase. A couple of other tricks I have. If you're someone who gets hot, These are great, they go around your neck. And it's a fan that blows air on your chin and your face. They're about $4 or $5 in an hour. This. This is $4 or $5 at Walgreens. Not to my dog. Little fan. These I buy on Amazon. These are toilet seat covers. If, when you go in public places in the city of New York and you don't feel entirely comfortable sitting down, these come in very handy. They don't take any space in your bag. They're really cheap, you can get them on Amazon. And I'd also recommend this, because you don't know if the public restrooms are always going to have enough toilet paper. Just don't throw this in your bag. And one more thing that I thought was kind of handy, I ordered a package of these, they were dirt cheap. This, you open up. Put it here, and you can clip anything you need to on here that you don't want to carry. I don't want to carry my purse, I'm gonna clip it here. I don't want to carry my water bottle. I can flip the handle here, and so on. I'm all about minimizing what's on my shoulders and my neck and back, because that's what aches on me after fully walking.
Where did you find those?
You can find all this stuff on Amazon. These water bottles, if you want to bring a water bottle, I also like something that I can carry in. I got this little guy in Peru, but you can find these anywhere. Anytime I wore this, my president always said, nothing says tourist more than what you're wearing, Julie. But I didn't have to carry it. Again, I can snap this little handle with that little strap to my suitcase as well. Okay, so if you bought a bottle of water in the airport recently, how much you paid? $5, $6, $7, yeah. So all the airports now have the faucets that you can, the filtered water that you can fill these up, so you don't have to carry, you don't have to pay so much. I want to say a couple words about staying safe. I already taught you about staying together when we're walking. If you're leaving the group, come together with let Sue know, let me know. If you're tired or you're injured, please say so. Let us know. Don't keep going. If your foot is full of blisters, let's stop and take care of it. Okay? Keep your money close. Avoid purses, pockets, and backpacks. I need a volunteer. Who brought a purse tonight? Somebody come up and bring your purse. Come on. Oh, you're right. No, go ahead, come on up. Okay, show me how you carry your purse. Yeah.
Usually it's like
It's
this,
this?
sometimes it's like.
Sometimes it's like this, let's do this.
Like that.
Let's do this, and you walk around here, and you flip it behind you, like you sometimes do, right? And let's pretend I know what I'm doing. I'm not from Sioux City, but I'm from New York. And I can easily put my hand down in here and grab something out, right? I'm gonna tell you some scare stories tonight, not to make you afraid of this trip, just to make you know how serious it is that you take your safety seriously. Who's got a backpack? Anybody bring a backpack? Did you bring one? No? Okay, well, I can't demonstrate this then, but I'll tell you about it. Who's got pockets and who keeps your billfold in your back pocket, man? Yeah, okay. All righty. Pick up the men first. First story I'm gonna tell you happened in Greece. It did not happen on one of my groups, but it happened in a group I was on. We were told repeatedly, be careful on the subway because there are thieves. Be careful when you get off the subway because the thieves stand around at the top. The thieves stand around the top. Don't put your billfold in your back pocket. Over and over and over, we're told this. And one of our tour guys on our tour, and I know him well, he worked here for years. He just was not paying attention or would not accept that it could happen to him. I don't know. Here's what happened. Got on the subway. Person on the subway has a briefcase over his shoulder. Bottom of the briefcase is cut out. The hand went down inside the briefcase. Down the inside, my friend's pocket, and took his billfold. Here's what happened in Spain. We're on the subway. A young man leans over and kisses one of my students on the lips. At the same time, another man takes his elbow, and the girl had on a tank top, pulls the top down with the elbow, and the third member of the party then tries to steal it from someone. Well, my girls knew what to watch for. These girls I had with me because I tell my students every horror story, and they started yelling, thief, thief, thief. And as soon as that train stopped, these three ran. They had it timed so that they could grab it and get off, so it was almost to the stop. But their distraction was, I'm kissing this one, I'm gonna pull this one's shirt down, and this one's gonna steal from this one. They knew that the girls were all together, and we would all be trying to take care of that and not realize what had happened. When we were in, we can't remember where, one of our other tour guides, or chaperone, excuse me, had a backpack on. Somebody came up behind the backpack, unzipped it, put the hand down in there, started to take something. Our tour guide saw it. I believe this was in Spain as well. Our tour guide saw it, grabbed that thief by the hair and dragged her down to the corner where there was an officer. Yeah, so in all these situations, we have never lost anything. But they're all frightened, and can't say enough. Don't carry a backpack. If you're going to, put it in front. Put it in the front of you. Have your arms around it. Don't carry a purse. Unless it's a purse like this, that is in the front of you with your hand on it. Do put your money in one of these around your waist if you want to, unless you're wearing a dress. Because you might find yourself in a shop and not be able to figure out how to get the money out. I'm speaking from experience. And these are great. Fanny packs, I'm so glad they're back in style. Because you can put several things in there. This is your phone and your money and just about anything else you need along. I always take a handful of wet wipes out, smash them down into a bag. So that I've got a few of them in my bag, along with my toilet seat covers, my Kleenex, some ibuprofen in case I need it, probably my arthritis cream, leave my Vicks at home, and have my phone and my money, and I've still got plenty of room in there. Again, I don't want you to be afraid. I just want you to be aware enough that you don't have, that you're not tempting somebody to try to take your money. My daughters and I went a number of years ago to New York for my big birthday for my 50th birthday. And we all four stayed in one room and we went downstairs for breakfast and left our purses upstairs, thinking we're just going downstairs in the same hotel room. All of our purses. Money was taken out of all of our purses. Not enough that, you know, I think that she thought that it was gonna be okay, 25 bucks from each of us, but we all did notice it right away when we came back. So just keep your stuff close to you in a way, in a place where people cannot take it. People are not tempted to take it. And I'm out of time. I just want to tell you this. I'm going to show you this for now, in case anybody wants to take it with us. Here's some upcoming travel opportunities. With Sue, there's a Lamar Summer Road Trip, June 10th. The Spring Mystery Trip is May 17th. The Iowa State Fair, oh, that sounds so fun. That's August 9th. The Buffalo Roundup in September 25th through 28th. You'll go to the Black Hills for 4 days. It's a fabulous trip. I went with Sue last year. Cherry Blossoms in Japan. If you're interested in that, I have information up here. Boston, Lexington, Concord, Plymouth, Salem. That's the tour we're doing next year with Lifelong Learning. Not doing New York next April. We're doing Boston, Lexington, Concord, Plymouth, Salem. It's really a good deal. And there's flyers here for that if you're interested. Then in June, I'll be doing Amsterdam, Luxembourg, and Brussels. And in October, I'll be doing Iceland. There's flyers up here for any of those. Who's gonna volunteer to do a presentation next week? All right.
I'll do the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Metropolitan Museum of Art, great. Midtown, thank you. Okay, anybody else want to? You sure don't have to. All right. Ellis Island, okay, great. Well, we're getting real close, guys. We'll see you next week. Don't hesitate to call if you have questions. And again, there's information here about the Boston trip, the Japan, Amsterdam, and Iceland. Bye, everybody who's online. Okay, question about the airline tickets. You don't need tickets anymore. We will, make sure you have your ID with you, right? And we'll check in at the airport, or we'll check in online ahead of time. By next week, we should be able to look up your seats, and if you're not happy with your seats, get you moved. Hopefully that's gonna be ready by next week, but they use all e-tickets anymore, so you're not gonna have a paper ticket. We will have a paper boarding pass, or you can put it on your phone. You have TSA pre-check, we'll put that information in, when we can look at your reservation and look at your seat. It's too early still, we can't do it quite yet. Okay, here it is.
I have a question about, is there a need for tip? Yeah.
Okay, tip money. I did include tips in the cost of this tour. However, if you really, you know, if you feel like your tour guide has gone above and beyond for you and done something great, you want to give her some more money at the end, feel free. If we do a tour that was not included, like a private tour, and you feel like, wow, I really want to give that person some money, feel free. But your tips are included. I included those in the price.
Including the diner as well.
Yeah, not your lunch though. Your lunches are on your own. Yeah.
How much cash do you think?
Okay. How much is too much? On a 12-day tour, I have had people bring as little as 100 and as much as 2,000. It all depends how much you want to buy souvenirs, how much you want to buy, how much you want to have for lunch. You know, there are some people who the experience is all about the food, right? So I want to go to a really nice 5-star restaurant in New York. Better get your reservation now, by the way. but I wanna order a huge seafood platter and a bottle of wine, and I know I'm gonna spend $200 on that meal. The next person would say, I'm gonna grab a piece of bread off the breakfast buffet and eat that for lunch, right? So it's always hard to know, but your lunch is gonna be what your main expense every day, other than if you want drinks, I gotta buy extra cups of coffee. That's big on my spending money list. When I'm walking down the street, I gotta have a cup with me, so. Yes,
Can you take a cane on the plane?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
CPAP machines should go without counting as part of it.
Yeah, if you have a CPAP machine that will not count as part of your luggage, you can take that as an extra medical device.
So would you say if you take extra cash with, keep it on you, or do you dare keep it in your own pocket?
If you're gonna keep it in your room, keep it in the safe.
It's the same.
Yes, in the safe.
Both places, debit cards.
Yes, yep, you can use your debit card there. Credit cards.
Yeah.
Anything else? Y'all got your New York bag?
Do you think souvenir shops will ship for you? I mean, I know you have to pay for it, but if you buy stuff. will they
Yeah,
ship that?
shipping is really, really bad right now. I mean, they'll ship for you, but I think, you know, like, how much are you thinking of buying?
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
But
but if you're going to bring something home for all the family, that does add up with
Yeah.
space, for sure. And you know, we can help each other out, right? If you got space, or you don't have 2 bags on the carry-on, and you want to be willing to carry something for somebody else who has more things, that's great too.
If you have a suitcase and you have a little bag, as long as it fits under a seat.
Yeah. A bag that fits up above, plus a bag that goes under your seat, you're golden. So if you haven't answered a question that you have, if you will write it down for us, we'll make sure we cover it at the next meeting. So, and if you think of some, and hopefully you will, because, you know, we're kind of excited right now, so it's hard to remember everything. So write it down, you feel free to email us, and we'll have those answers for you, next week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but where's the letter? I've been more those than night. For the beer. So first like this. Okay.
But can I bring that to the? That would be enough. Yeah.
I wouldn't carry it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, cross space, they're okay. We can put them in front. We can have.
Yeah.
I mean, you can run, and then I would have a big bag in my carry.
You could have that bag as a carry-on. You could have a carry-on bag. Or whatever you want. And then your CPAP, because your CPAP is medical, so that doesn't count. So you could carry, you carry three bags and I could carry. Yeah. I was just gonna.
I'd like to take some old hair. Need this right out of the bank.
And refill it, and you know, you can buy it. Oh, we're not extra, you want to hang on to.
Don't have to take it out.
Well, you know, they used to say, crap, so I want to have. Yeah. You know, I mean, please, or even down here. But I've never had a problem. Or two steps. You know, I know you're gonna do that. And I think that's the highest. Yeah, I don't know. I found it. He's just out there waiting. Because we're walkers and because it was so windy, you weren't gonna go and I think I'm going, I'll just walk around the building.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not in the wind. you know, want to do it.
That's why we're building, lots of people do.
Yeah.
We do, we have regular walls there.
Well,
And that's.
that's
we
the
do this
real
meeting.
Why it's true, I don't know. I told her you were walking out there and you were real. Oh, yeah, she said she did, she was.
Okay.
Walk by the cafeteria and have buffet, just for students and employees.
No, you just have to pay, and so just bring your credit card.
Yeah.
Not much, but guess what, we're gonna be closing here in middle of May. So it's still.
Tonight.
Oh, was it? See, we could have come. Oh, it's really good, I ate them. See, that's
And all the time I hear-
we stopped at Arby's, yeah, in four, but
Yeah,
then like
yeah.
sometimes at
Yeah,
lunchtime,
you just, you can pay your credit card or pay your cash.
so even before your lunchtime, yeah.
Yeah, so it's, $7.25 for lunch, and then it's. So it's all you can.
Sign for breakfast.
Oh, I forgot to mention, we're doing an eclipse party from 1:30 to 2:30. They're gonna have drinks and refreshments. And all And we have Russ Skipper doing a history class right before that, so.
It's his class from the other night, available.
Yeah, we should have received an email with a link to it.
Okay.
I already sent that out.
And he sent one that said it was coming.
Oh, and it wasn't on there. Okay.
I don't know, I'll check it again, but.
Okay, yeah, I'll double check because I thought I had sent it,
I'll look.
but.
Coming up.
Oh, you know what, I think it should be ready soon, but the link was there. So
Okay.
we should be able to,
Alright.
and, then, let us be all, that, we will get, website.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we gotta put. Let's we'll put these in all the bags. Oh, that's mine. Oh, that's mine. In all the bags, if you get one, because, excuse me, I'm gonna put this over, so, because they're gonna need it while they're there. Okay, then I'll come up with a different icebreaker for next week. I am gonna ask everybody to introduce themselves too. Oh, okay, cause you know, or you can when you do your icebreaker, but it's kind of hard when we don't know everybody. Right. Do you think that we should ask them to put the WhatsApp on their phone? Yes. Yes. Okay, so we'll do that next time. Oh, but I didn't have the headphones when I was talking. That would have been awkward. Down now. All right. Put these with. Yes. Get everybody gets one. Did you get one? No, I don't care about one. Thanks, so. You're welcome. I have so many bags. Mm.